Hello, Planet Watchers. Good to be with you once again. So, what's up around here? Lots of things as usual. So, we've been mainly working lately to improve the sensor batch management, and also we are working in order to be able to release soon information about the new Type 2 sensors. So, I'm not going to release details today, but we are working on it, and we just want to provide relevant, accurate, and stable information as soon as possible. So there are lots of things in the making and quite a few good things, I would say. So let me start with reviewing the situation for sensor deliveries. So as you remember, last week we sent purchase emails for 900 Type 1 and 900 Type 3 devices. The good news is that today we are able to send an additional roughly 2,000 purchase emails, approximately 1,000 for Type 1 and 1,000 for Type 3 again. And all of this strictly following, of course, the waiting list order. So today I cannot guarantee that all the people who belong to Q1 2022 will receive the email by the end of the month, because we are still trying to negotiate our way and catch up with a number of delays related to the pandemic, the war, and a number of very difficult circumstances which are well beyond our control. But these numbers are facts. You see that you are making a big effort to procure as many sensors as possible, and I think we have some good numbers today. Okay, I will keep it up. Now, talking about batches and waiting lists, I hope you have seen that we issued recently a blog post about the new waiting list management system. It wasn't covered last week, and the goal is to bring both more transparency to the process of receiving sensors that you order from us, to keep you better informed, and to contract waiting times. So one of the features which I anticipated is that we want to move from quarterly to monthly delivery estimates, so we have a more precise view of how long you need to wait. This new system will be implemented with our new Explorer, PlanetWatch Explorer interface going live in April, and will allow you to check in detail your order status, your exact position in the waiting list, the month in which you will be able to buy your sensor, the tracking number of your order, your invoices and credits notes, if any. And again, we are issuing blog posts about all the technical developments, so please make sure you check our webpage and the list of blog posts, because you have detailed instruction in order to follow up on all these things. Now, in connection with a new waiting list management system, we introduced a feature which I guess is not particularly welcome, but there is a good reason to do it. So we introduced a down payment requirement. So again, in order to reduce waiting times, we need to be able to buy large sensor stocks as soon as they become available. So this is essentially in order to keep up with demand and meet the delivery schedule. So as soon as the new list management system is in place in April, we will be requiring a down payment of 30% of the sensor price for all orders which are scheduled to be fulfilled in the following 3 months. So that's the way it will work. And once again, the reason is that this gives us some extra purchasing power to better negotiate and procure sensor stocks. I believe this is perfectly in line with industry standards. If you pre-order any piece of hardware these days, I think you are probably charged more than what we are requiring now. And okay, so if you make the down payment, obviously as soon as your sensor becomes available for purchase, the down payment is obviously deducted from the purchase price, so you will then be asked to pay the remainder of the balance, so the 70%. Now, please bear in mind that when your time comes and you get an email requesting the 30% down payment, if you cannot commit to the down payment, you'll be losing your spot in the waiting list. And again, this is just with a view to maximizing your chance to get your sensor if you can keep up with the rules. So we cannot wait because there are people waiting. behind you, if you see what I mean. Of course, if we then cannot fulfill our target month for your delivery, you will be fully entitled to get a refund, of course, for the down payment on the sensor. We are not keeping money if we cannot fulfill our delivery goal. That's, again, it's obvious, but it's better to mention this. Okay, so again, the goal here is to dramatically compress waiting times for people who are on our waiting list. And I think we have a good chance to deliver. And today's batch of emails, I think it's a good sign. And so, yeah, I think that's exactly what you need, guys. Facts more than words. 2,000 emails going out today. Now, next chapter. As you know, we published yet another blog post regarding the situation for Type 4 licenses. So we disclose a procedure that you must follow. If you bought a Type 4 device before January 27th, which is when we pause selling the licenses, and have been unable to connect it to the network because you don't have the license. Now, we need to assess the situation. We need to know what numbers we're talking about, because in that way we can optimize the process. So you're being asked to open a ticket, attach a copy of your device's purchase order or receipt. Now, this receipt should be dated sometime between November 1st, 2021 and January 27th, 2022. Show the buyer's name, and if you already own other licenses with PlanetWatch, the email on your purchase order must match your KYC email, please. And last but not least, you should mention in the ticket which Type 4 device you own. It can be either an Atmo 2 Pro or an Aware Element, obviously. So all the details about this process are laid out in a blog post, and the deadline to submit tickets with regard to Type 4 licenses is March 18th, 6 p.m. CET. Once we have all your data, we look into it, and by March 25th, we will tell you what is the next step after we have reviewed all these requests. It's a bit of a lengthy process and a structured one, but I can tell you that's the best way to address the issue. Now, two additional points that I'd like to mention. Please play it fair. If we find any evidence of fraud, which could be, for example, tampering with the submitted documents, the dates, or the other data, you will simply be banned from PlanetWatch, because PlanetWatch, as I said many times, is also about trust. So please don't look for shortcuts here. The other thing that I'd like to mention, which should be well known to any people who have read our white paper, we get lots of questions about why lower rewards for Type 4 sensors. The answer is that because we attain the so-called saturation point, we use that spare Planet tokens in the Type 4 recycle bin. So the recycle bin is empty, which means that Type 4 daily rewards are now being funded only by the daily reward budget mentioned in the white paper, which has to be shared across all eligible Type 4 sensors. So daily rewards have dropped according to what's stated in the white paper. That's the rule of the game. Okay, so please read the white paper if you haven't done it yet, because it's the best way to find the answer to this type of questions. Okay, next topic. Let's call it network reinforcement. So as you might have noticed, we are taking a number of measures to clean up the house, as they say, to enforce all the rules in the best possible way, and that's in the interest of the community. Because if all the rules are clear and we tighten up all the bolts, we will proceed faster, we will streamline sensor deliveries, we will make all the rules clearer, and ultimately the value of the data that we are collecting for devices will be higher, because all the processes will be more transparent and clean. So this also goes through a number of measures which I can remind you about here, which are stated in this blog post. You see the screenshot of the header of the blog post. Please have a look at all these blog posts. So the rules I'm referring to right now is, before we issue rewards, we will be checking very strictly that every sensor is associated with a valid license, the location of each sensor is set correctly to where it's deployed, and all users must verify their account with a KYC. So in the past, some people had difficulties, so we were a little bit tolerant when people could not fulfill all these requirements at 100%. Now is the time to just enforce these things in a very clear and strong way. So please help us go through this, because this strengthens the network, and we're getting ready to take PlanetWatch to the next level and start selling the data. So these are all boxes that we need to tick. So if you don't comply, you don't make an effort, you don't do this, at some point, maybe even later this week, you might stop receiving rewards. And then sure enough, you will open a ticket and we'll ask why, and we'll tell you, you have to do this, please, as soon as possible. Now, in order to help you doing this, please note that there is a troubleshooting tool which can be used to check what kind of action is needed on your side. And again, it's in the blog post. It explains how the troubleshooting tool works, where you can find it in your Explorer account. So be sure to read it, because everything is set and ready for you to use it. Oof, that was a long one. Now, I'm going to answer a few questions coming from the community. So let's go. First question, do you plan to add further rewards on Algostake for the staking program aimed at supplying liquidity to the planet's Algo pool on Tinyman? Short answer, yes. So this program that we started very recently is being quite successful. The community seems really to like it. So yes, we will be adding further rewards. So rewards will not dry up, okay? Not in the short term, for example, at least. We will be adding rewards for a sensible amount of time. Then we'll review it again, of course, maybe 1 month down the line. But for the time being, we are continuing this program. Keep in mind, and I know we are a bit late on it, and I've been stating that several times, that the Stake for the Planet program is coming next, where you will be staking directly Planet tokens, and we will earn the right to plant trees. And I believe that would be very, very cool. And it's coming soon, guys. Second question. That's a very important one, and I'll try to answer as accurately as possible. I double-checked it with the technical people. So somebody's asking, why are we supposed to provide PlanetWatch with this secret seed phrase that gives access to a wallet when we onboard the sensor in PlanetWatch? Are seed phrases stored by PlanetWatch? The answer is no, not at all. So the thing is, the wallet seed phrase is required when you are onboarding a sensor, but this seed phrase, these words, are not stored at all by PlanetWatch. The technical expression is that it's a local opt-in, which is stored securely and encrypted in the app, but if you just wipe the app's cache or reinstall the app, you will see that it's all gone. So we don't have access to your wallets. That's the important point. The wallet is 100% yours. We don't manage accounts on behalf of people. We don't store private keys or seed phrases. It is just there temporarily on your personal device, and that's used just to initialize the NFT in your wallet and to complete the onboarding procedure. But we don't retain or store or record those data at all. Thank you for asking anyway. Now, next question. Will the outdoor deployment guidelines be available anytime soon? Indeed, I did mention these guidelines. We have a fairly technical document which is in the making. I think it has to be a little bit, make it lighter and more understandable. So we have a document. We are trying to we're finalizing it to make sure that it's understandable to non-expert people. I think we'll be able to share it with you sometime next month. Okay. Next question. What's the most up-to-date info on the partnership with the city of Miami? I guess I answered last time as well. These things take a bit of time. We have an interest and discussion in progress both with the city of Miami and with Miami-Dade County, which is a larger regional entity where the city of Miami is based. So it's very interesting discussion. It's very promising. The devil is in the details, in the sense that we need to discuss with local government officials to agree on a deployment plan based on their own priorities, on the availability of sensors and all these aspects. So the most up-to-date information is that we're making progress, and that I will keep you posted. That's the best I can say today, and it's going well. Has there been any progress made in the Asian market? Now, if you look at the PlanetWatch map, you will notice that most of the network is in Europe and in North America. Of course, the plan is to go truly global as fast as possible. Now, there are a number of opportunities which are appearing in Latin America, for example. As far as Asia is concerned, there is a lot of interest. At the moment, I think we have a sizable presence, in particular in India and in Thailand. If you look at the PlanetWatch map yourself, you will just see it because data are there. So in this phase, we are really focusing on consolidation on the network before going into the next stage of exponential growth, which will come, I believe, as soon as we are ready. So we are not big in Asia yet. Potential is huge. We are getting ready to grow fast in Asia, as fast as we've been growing in other parts of the world. And the goal, the ambition is to be truly global. So not just Asia, not just Europe, not just North America, to really be global. And I also disclosed, I think last time, that we had discussion in progress with regard to Africa, which are also very interesting. So we are on the road to go global. So thanks a lot for your attention. Of course, now we are meeting only every 2 weeks, but if something important comes up in the meantime, of course, you will be notified by our social media channels. I will also stick my face if I think it's useful, but you'll be informed, and you should just keep watching the planet as well as our social media channels. Thank you, and stay safe, stay happy.